We just needed to click the dashboard and redo it. I do my job. You're live.
Excellent.
We have quorum.
As of last meeting, council, we have exactly quorum. Count real quick. Yes, we have 11, which means that we don't have the numbers that we need to vote on the amendments quite yet, but we have enough to get started. Okay. With that, I call this meeting of the ASWWU Student Senate to order on May 16th at 5:13 p.m. Wonderful. Let's get started with first consent items. We don't have, Nelly, do we have any minutes to approve this meeting?
Yes.
We do? Wonderful.
Yes. First one.
Starting with review of our minutes from
It's exactly.
April the 18th? Yeah. Yeah. Are there any necessary amendments to our minutes from April the 18th? Not hearing any. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from April 18th?
Haven't been able to review them yet, but
Oh, you need to scroll down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, that was the form.
McGlowan motions to approve.
Wonderful. Is there a second?
Julie seconds.
Excellent. All in favor, say aye.
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 Nay. Wonderful. That approves minutes from April the 18th. Are there any other minutes for us to approve now?
Yes. I will say though, I thought I would have like one last minute, like small adjustment. And that's this part, which would be renamed to diversifying curriculum and student involvement. But other than that, everything else is done.
Is there a motion to, are there any other necessary edits to these minutes, or is there a motion to approve with the aforementioned edits?
Motions to approve.
Thank you, Sophia. Or is there a second? Wonderful. All in favor of approving the minutes from April the 2nd, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. If there are any abstentions, excellent. With that, the minutes from April the 2nd are approved. Is that right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. We can move on to revisions to the agenda. Does anyone need to revise the agenda from its current state? Are there any necessary amendments to this agenda? Seeing none, we can move into public forum. Is there anyone here for public forum?
Recording in progress.
Again, seeing none, we can move on to our information items from our guests. With that, I'll cede the floor to Carmela.
So I have Ariana here, and they came to me with and our dean with the issue of bathroom accessibility in the Performing Arts Center. Would you like to explain?
Yeah, I actually have a presentation. Should I send it to anyone or?
Me,
Yeah, what's your email?
I'll split it.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Where should I stand?
Anyway,
Anyone? Okay, I will stand here then.
1 second.
Sure. Yeah, well, she's calling that up. I'll introduce myself. My name is Ariana Gant. I'm a senior of the CBE. I'm a business management student with minors in theater, dance, and honors disciplinary studies. And I'm the head house manager for the Performing Arts Center. So that the house manager is the person that greets you whenever you attend an event at the PAC, takes tickets, gives programs, keeps the event reports, unlocks the theater, etc. And so I've been working at the PAC for 4 years now, and my senior project is based on the observations that I've made in that position. And so just a brief overview before I really get into it. The restrooms at the Performing Arts Center are extremely inaccessible to a variety of groups of people. And so it is my effort in this project to convince the university of the importance of the project and hopefully move up the timeline to renovate the facilities. Yeah. So right here we've got a little bit of the floor plan of the Performing Arts Center. So for those of you who aren't super familiar with it, right there is the PAC lobby that's right there. And then in the concert hall, which those doors are normally locked during the day, so no one can use the restrooms except for an event, which is one problem. But when the concert hall is open, there are 2 sets of restrooms on either side. There are no gender neutral restrooms, and there are no handicap accessible restrooms. And in the main stage, the only restrooms are upstairs. So again, no gender neutral, no handicap accessible restrooms. The nearest handicap accessible restroom is 2 floors down, which if the PAC was built today would be in violation of the International Building Code, which I think is a problem. And the nearest gender neutral restroom is on the far other side of the building in the theater department, which if an audience member doesn't know the building at all would be nearly impossible to find. Yeah, so that's just a little overview. So the importance of the PAC. There are approximately 1,300 students, faculty, and staff of the CFPA. And back in 2018, pre-COVID, there were 45,000 audience members who attended the CFPA functions in the PAC, which is huge. And not only is the PAC an essential building to the CFPA, it's an essential building to the entire university. Every department does have events in this facility. Just recently, we had the Distinguished Alumni Awards, which brought in alumni from all of the departments. I know that the College of Environmental Studies and Fairhaven both often have their graduations in the Performing Arts Center. So it's a really important facility, and I know sometimes they have like intro to new students in there and information days. And so it's vital that that a building like this reflects the values that the university holds dear. So what can be done? I've talked to the Department of Capital Planning and Development, and they have already started working toward installing gender-neutral restrooms in all the buildings on campus. However, the Performing Arts Center is pretty far down on the list of priorities. That being said, the need for handicap accessible restrooms was not taken into account when the order was created. And so they told me that the way to move it up on the list of importance would be to gather support from the community. And so that's what I'm here today to talk to you all about. I would just like to ask for support and ask if any of you have ideas on how best I can gather support. I have created a petition. I currently have about 180 signatures on it. And I've talked to a variety of important people. I've emailed the head of the disability services, and I've emailed the head of queer resources. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not quite sure what happens next.
Open the floor to discussion and questions.
Yep.
Rondo. I think that the best way you can gather like more people is really through social media. You should try to reach out to big pages such as like New ASWWU Boys. Like I'm sure they have a large following of all students. Maybe contact them and send them like the link to this petition or just like the QR. I'm pretty sure that's a good way to get people. That's how they've been doing with the honors students of color, this petition.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been just sending it through social media. That's how they've been gathering a lot of, I cannot speak today, a lot of support. So I feel like, yeah, that's probably the best way. Or so just printing that QR code and like posting it everywhere.
Yeah, I've posted it around the pack, but I can put it more.
Yeah, probably like around Red Square or like big buildings, like people usually have classes, like big lecture halls outside, just put it there.
Yeah, those are great ideas, thank you.
Topper, additionally, if you were to reach out to the individual hall councils on campus, they're the student organizations exclusively responsible for advertising within the dormitory communities. So if you were to reach out to them and let them know what you're trying to do, get their permission to hang posters, you could send them posters and they will hang them for you in the dorms.
Okay, cool, thank you.
I know that a lot of organizations will be tabling, like in Red Square. I know the honors students of color, they're tabling there. That's kind of how I was introduced to what they're doing, and then they have like what you have a QR code, and then do the petition. And then a lot of people actually come in my class, like my 305 class, there's like 100 people there. And so like I think presenting in classrooms to people, you can reach like a lot of people at one time. So a lot of professors, I don't know if you've done this, but a lot of professors will be like, yeah, like for the first 5 minutes, you can come in, say what you want to say.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, also, getting word out to professors and having professors on board too can help a lot, because a lot of students, that's like their sole communication for like everything at the university it comes through the professors, so.
Sure, yeah, I've reached out to the woman who manages the CFPA newsletter, so, well, it's more the College of Theater and Dance, that newsletter, so it's gone out to all of those students and faculty, but yeah, it's amazing.
Rama?
Iqbal, she, her. I would really recommend looking into the Sustainability, Equity, and Justice Fund. If the like garnering interest and support is very important, but if like part of this is trying to make this happen faster, that would be a really great way to get funding ASAP.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I hadn't even heard of that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I just met the person who who approves the grants for that fund.
Sure.
So I can connect you with them as well. That would be-
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Berkeley, if we're talking about garnering more institutional support for this, if you write this into a resolution, both the student senate and the executive board have the ability to take votes on that in order to endorse those things. Additionally, once the student government has endorsed a resolution like that, we can present it in front of the Board of Trustees meeting, which has the ultimate say over university activities. Additionally, making comments at the Board of Trustees public forum comment period at the very beginning of their meeting can be an incredibly important way to garner support, or at least bring attention to university issues in front of people who make all the decisions.
Yeah, thank you. Is there like a format for that?
If you want to send me an email, we can connect on the best way to write things like that. There are a variety of different formats that people have taken to resolutions that get passed by us or the executive board. And whenever it comes to including it in the written report that the AS president, Lori, my counterpart, presents to the Board of Trustees, that also can take a variety of different forms, and we really work with you in order to tailor that.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry. Has anyone been writing down these suggestions, or was that? I'm so sorry.
I go back to the recordings and I write everything down.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay. Oh, it's being recorded. Amazing. Thank you so much.
I also recommend to take notes, but yes.
Oh, okay, great. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you all listening to me and giving me suggestions. That was really kind. And yeah, if you would put me in touch with them.
The person who approves the grants.
Approves the grants. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then if you would help me with the.
Yeah, real quick, could I get your name again?
Yeah, Ariana Gant, ARIANA, and then GANT.
And then email.
Yeah, it's ganta.wwu.edu, like Fanta, the soda, but with a G. Well, I think I'm done. Thank you all so much. I guess I can just head out then. Okay, great. And thank you, Karma, for joining me. Thank you. Where do I find those notes?
So here's the website actually. I can send you the website and where's that?
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm also writing you an email right now, and so I can, if it's difficult to get to Nellie's notes, I can connect and I can write those that time.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Do you know when I might expect that from you?
I'm sending you a message right now, and then me and Nellie will figure out when the minutes will be available.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank
You too. Thank you.
Cool. Excellent. With that, we can move on to the Canyon Lake statement, which we have, sorry, I believe it's Jens.
Yeah, that's right.
Wonderful. I will cede the floor to you then.
All right, my name is Jens, he, him, and I'm a senior at Western in environmental policy. Basically, I'm advocating for the opening of Canyon Lake Community Forest to public access. The forest is co-owned. I don't know if you guys have read the statement, but I have it here, and The forest is co-owned by Western Washington and Whatcom County, located on the Mount Baker foothills near Deming. It's roughly 2,300 acres, including over 700 acres of ancient old growth forests. Hiking is spectacular up there. You got a great view of Mount Baker, the Twin Sisters, and the Puget Sound. Opening the forest, I think, and many of my peers also agree, it's critical to the community and community at Western, partly because we have a lack of research in this geographic area. Access to the forest allows us to effectively study the area, and these studies can contribute to the overarching fight against the climate crisis in various ways, including analysis of old growth ecosystems, forest health, and water monitoring. Access to green spaces just in general is important to me and Western students, especially students of the College of the Environment. And over 200 students have already signed the petition we made requesting access to the community forest. Unfortunately, public access to this forest has been restricted after subsequent storms made the road, Canyon Creek Road, inaccessible in 2007. Repairing this road, is one option, but it hasn't really been in the county's purview. So it would involve substantial rework of the area. A large bridge seems, not economically viable from the county's perspective. The other access point is on Racehorse Creek Road, which eventually connects to Canyon Lake Road. The two roads merge after a gated segment that's under an easement with Sierra Pacific and Whatcom County. We talked to Mike McFarland at the Whatcom County Parks and Recreation Department and learned that there's an easement agreement submitted to Sierra Pacific that, we basically, Whatcom County and Sierra Pacific want to come to an agreement that Sierra Pacific removes the gate, or that Whatcom County can purchase the road segment that connects to Canyon Lake Road. And I think, we as Western students, just in general, at least the people I've talked to, are in full support of whatever measures are necessary to restore vehicular access to Canyon Lake. We understand that the condemnation process is on the table if Sierra Pacific is unable to reach an agreement with the county on the easement. So we support condemnation if it proves to be necessary. Hopefully it won't come to that, but we also support activating the Forest Advisory Committee that is described in the documents that established the Canyon Lake Community Forest in the first place. Although this committee has never met before, I think it's vital that it includes representatives not just from Whatcom County, but a student and a faculty member from Western. And this committee could just help make decisions about forest management and, the future of educational opportunities in the area. So thank you. I don't really have much else to say.
Just so I'm clear, is the goal for the Senate to make this into an action item and then vote to endorse this document today? That's the thing that we can do.
Yeah, so from Western's perspective, this area, I don't know much about what the administration feels, but I know that faculty from the College of the Environment are aware of access to Canyon Lake Community Forest being restricted. And I think we want not board of directors, but chairs from the College of the Environment and the interim dean to write a letter to the county saying that they support the access to Canyon Lake Community Forest, and that could kind of, help move the process along from the county's perspective. And I hope that people in the Senate will also endorse this statement.
Yeah, wonderful. That is a thing that we certainly can do. And just for the knowledge of the rest of the Senate, whenever this item was presented in front of the executive board last week, it was also talked about how Western Washington graduate students have in the past done research in this forest, specifically as it relates to old growth forests and climate change, And due to the inaccessibility of this forest, that sort of research has been halted. The academic side of Western Washington being in our purview, this seems especially important that we take action on this now. That said, are there further questions, further discussion? Does anyone motion that this become an action item?
Other motions to make this an action item?
Wonderful. Do we have a second?
Seconds.
Excellent. All in favor of making the Canyon Lake statement an action item for the Senate today, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. If there are any abstentions? Wonderful. Now, is there further discussion on Canyon Lake statement as an action item? I'm glad that it spurred a lot more conversation, questions. Good. Is there a motion to approve and endorse the Canyon Lake statement?
McClellan, motions to approve.
Second. Wonderful. All in favor of the endorsement of the Canyon Lake statement, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. If there are any abstentions? Excellent. Then the Senate has formally approved the Canyon Lake statement. Thank you very much, Jens, for bringing this before us. And now we can see about getting it on the Board of Trustees.
Thank you all.
I have a real quick thing.
Yeah.
Bach, Jens, Cambria and I are meeting with our dean soon-ish, like we're kind of overdue for a meeting, so we can bring this to the dean. You could also come along when we meet with our dean, however you want to do it.
Yeah, I'm definitely open to that. Just shoot me an email and I'll be there.
Cool, sounds good.
Thank you.
Excellent. That closes up our information items from our guests, as well as our action items from our guests. Are there any personnel items? No. There are no action items for the Senate as of right now, which means that we can go on to action items. Let me check quorum real quick because both of the action items are bylaws amendments, which means that we need 15 senators here. How many do we have? 6. We are 3 short. It's fine. We should just table that for next week. Seeing as we are currently short of the necessary quorum in order to pass our bylaws amendments, can I get a motion to table both the bylaws amendments document from myself and the bylaws amendment document from Miriam to our next meeting?
Motions to table these two action items that we cannot currently act upon.
Wonderful. Can we get a second?
Johnson seconds.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. If there are any abstentions? Excellent. Which means that we can move on to Senate reports as well as BSO updates. I have a couple, but I will, if other people have Senate reports or BSO updates, please go first. So just so everyone is aware, the As of today, it was announced that a Dr. Tina Gabrielson of the University of Wyoming has been appointed the Dean of the College of the Environment going forward. That begins on August the 1st, I believe. Additionally, the Dean search for Woodring College of Education has not found a dean as of right now. Which means that that search is ongoing or on hiatus. I'm not sure. Both of those things were given as reports to the faculty sent today. So I just want to make sure that everyone is aware of those things.
Any word on the search for either interim dean for CSE or what's going to take place there?
Yeah, so what the report that I saw from faculty senate was that the interim search for dean has officially commenced, and that they have a slate of candidates, although those candidates weren't released to us for obvious reasons. I don't believe that any decisions have been made at this time about that. But I will keep you informed as I hear things. Are there any other Senate reports or BSO updates? I also have other business. Okay. Seeing none. I was really looking for about to walk into the vote time. Okay. Wonderful. We move on to other business now. So this is more of a discussion that I want to bring up to all of you. As you all are aware at this point, former Dean of the CSE, Brad Johnson, has been appointed to the provost position for Western moving forward. And so this is a question. Do we want to invite Brad Johnson to the Senate because as the chief academic officer of the university, his is the position that is most akin to ours in terms of the actual admin position. It's him who will be in charge of things like the College of Ethnic Studies, working on the various BSO demands that we are with, these sorts of things. Does it seem prudent for us to invite him here to have a conversation with us about what his plans are?
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Seeing lots of yeses, good. Glad. I just want to make sure that everyone's on board with that.
Having had interaction with Brad, I'm sure he'd be amenable to it, but his schedule is very tight, so.
This is true. Understanding that he has just been appointed to the chief academic officer of this university, so it might be difficult, but we can see if he'd be willing to come and talk to us, or at least give a statement in terms of thoughts, ideas, plans as provost of the university. I just want to make sure that the Senate was on board with that before I started reaching out to admin on behalf of the Senate. Wonderful. I'm seeing a lot of overwhelming support, so I don't think that there's a lot of discussion that needs to be had on that point.
Are you going to spearhead that, or do you want Miriam or I to reach out?
I can reach out, and if I don't get a response back, I can reach out to you and Miriam to see. Obviously, you have a better relationship with Brad than I do, so we'll see.
You see that.
Yes. Thank you, Delphin. My head is clearly not on my shoulders today. True. Wonderful. That is all of the other business that I have at this time. Does anyone else have anything that they need to talk to the Senate about?
I'm Marcus. I use he and pronouns. I was getting started to get a astronomy club started, and I think I sent I think on the 6th or the 11th I had an email to come here, I think. Or I met up with over Zoom. And I guess if it's not today, I can schedule it for another meeting time, just totally fine. But we just really wanted to start a club and get that approved to kind of like give everyone, no matter like their experience or sorry, really bad public speaking, but just give like anyone who has experience like in different ranges, like time on equipment or even help with astrophotography or just like looking and using the telescopes that we have in the CF department.
Yeah, have you gotten in contact with ASVP Mallory Schaefbauer?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Mallory is the vice president for activities. And so Mallory will be able to provide a lot more help and insight in terms of the creation of new clubs and being able to plug those clubs in with the existing infrastructure.
Okay.
If you need help or advice in terms of getting in contact with Mallory, I can certainly help you with that.
Yes, yeah.
Of course. Wonderful. Excellent. Is there any other business at this time?
So it's a long time coming though. It was like all in our field for my Saturday split, but good news. It's the AS board and Senate's office should be hopefully finished by the end of May. So y'all will have 2 weeks of the new space, hopefully, maybe. And that's on the 5th floor next to my office. The folks have been to my office before. They just installed a clear door, so that's fun. Yeah, fancy. Like transparency. Yeah, so that's some fun news. Hopefully, I think we'll be moving stuff. Hopefully, May 23rd, we'll see. I also know that it's week 8, so good luck to everyone. And I also have other news that I didn't share. I will be leaving this institution. I'll be leaving Western as of June 6th. So I will not continue. But I was like, please let me know if you have any questions. Would love to just talk about what this was like moving forward to y'all. I shared this with exec board. I don't know if y'all heard, but yeah, wanted to share it with everyone.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Oregon State. Going back.
Congratulations.
First, congratulations, but second, do we have any thoughts on who will be taking over your responsibilities here, or is it too early to think about that?
So I'm creating sustainability documents right now. It probably will most likely go back to the responsibility of Casey Hayden, who is I believe his role is the Associate Director of Activities. He was a former co-advisor for Senate along with Raquel Vigo. But yeah, I'm also hoping the search has started because I gave like a month-and-a-half notice. Like I let admin know. I think that would be cool.
Is he the person who like led the beginning of the year event that he was in charge? It was like yeah,
Yes.
that's it. Okay.
I'm just confirming I have his title down correctly. You said Associate Director of Activities.
It's Casey Hayden.
CASEY and then HAYDEN.
Are you gonna be here for the inauguration?
I will be here for the inauguration, so I will end. I was like, my last day is before inauguration, but then I'll come back to say hey and be not your advisor. But we'll, with the transition of power, hopefully. Good luck if folks are running or rerunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad news, but also fun news. To some of you. Feel free to contact me. I'm on LinkedIn. Self promo.
And I guess on that note, we can bring this meeting to a close at 5:51 p.m. Those of you who are running for elected position for next year, I will see you in approximately half an hour because there's a mandatory candidates file meeting this evening. Don't forget, it's important. You have to go.
It's
Yeah.
only on Zoom, right? Like